Aligned dimensions. Let's go ahead and take a look at aligned dimensions now. So far we've covered linear dimensions. You can go ahead and open up this project file as well under your chapter 9 of your project files and opening practice dimensioning. This is where we left off last video, so if you're still using your own design, that's okay too. Don't worry about all these other linear dimensions that we've already placed. They're just here for an example and display. So let's go ahead and do one more linear dimension, which we've already learned how to do. I'll activate it really fast. I'll go ahead and keep the default of select object by pressing the space bar, and then I'll go ahead and select this here and do one more dimension coming down. So now I have a dimension for the Y and a dimension for the X. But we don't want to have two dimensions in order to dimension this diagonal. What we want to do is have an aligned dimension. So let's go ahead and select align dimension from the annotation panel under the home tab, or you can go to annotate and you can pull down this menu here and you can select aligned. Now AutoCAD is asking us to specify the first extension line, origin, or select object. We'll go ahead and select these points here and here, and we can pull out to the side just a bit. It's getting a little crowded, so I'll leave it just right there. As you can see, aligned dimensions will go ahead and create a dimension that's parallel to a diagonal line. Let's see if we have any more aligned dimensions that we can create. Well, it doesn't look like we have any more slanted lines, so let's go ahead and just see what we can do though. I'll select this point here, the align dimension command. I will pick a point here, and I will pick a point here, and go ahead and pull this out. And now you can see I have an aligned dimension to this point and that point, which isn't very useful because we would probably want a linear dimension for that. Okay, well, let's go ahead and delete these now. I'll hide them, hit delete, highlight these, hit delete, as well as selecting these over here and hitting delete. Just like we did with linear dimensions, we can also select the object itself. I'll go ahead and reactivate the linear, the aligned dimensioning. I'll go ahead and accept the default value of select object by pressing the space bar. And now I have to select the object to dimension. I'll select this and pull out, which is very easy to do. But notice, if I wanted to actually dimension from this point to this point like I did before for some reason, I can go ahead and press the space bar. And if I went ahead and press the space bar again so that I select an object, there really isn't an object here to dimension. But I could select an object like this, for example, and go ahead and pull that out. But this dimension here wouldn't be very useful. I would probably want a radius or a diameter dimension for this arc. So you can use an aligned dimension to dimension a line such as this, or you can use a horizontal and a vertical linear dimension in order to dimension this line. But typically you want the least amount of dimensions for your design. So if you have a diagonal, you may want to just stick with an aligned dimension.